Okay, so this is about completing the square. Now there are several different features to this process, and this is going to be the first one, which is to solve a quadratic equation when a equals 1. Now, there's nothing particularly difficult about this. I've already explained it in class once, and hopefully you remember some of the basics. So the first step, check to see if your function is factorable. And notice now we will always have a function or an equation. We do not have an expression which we're factoring. Although if we find a factorable equation, we will factor that expression. So here's my equation. X squared plus 6x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, now I got to check to see if this is factorable. So I multiply a times c, and I get 2. And 2, the factors of 2 are just 1 and 2, and that adds up to 3, so that is not factorable. Okay, so let's go on to step 2, where we isolate the quadratic and linear terms. Now, simply stated, that means move everything else over to the other side. So in this case, we've got plus 2, so we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Now, once we've done that, step 3 says we're going to divide b by 2 and then square it. So b is right there. So if we're going to divide b by 2 and square it, we are going to get 3 squared. Now step 4 is add that value to both sides. So here we have x squared plus 6x, now plus 9. Now remember, we're doing this to get a perfect square trinomial, which we have now here. But when we do this, we have to also add 9 to both sides, because if we don't, then we've changed our equation. It's no longer the same equation. So we're going to rewrite the perfect square trinomial as a binomial squared. And when we do that, we get x plus 3 squared equals 7. Now, the second step is take this, last step basically, is take the square root of both sides and solve it. So here's what we get. The square root of x plus 3 is x plus 3 squared is x plus 3. The square root of 9 is plus 7, is plus or minus the square root of 7. And x equals minus 3, because you subtract 3 from both sides. So that's x equals minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 7. And as I've mentioned in class, that should look very familiar, because this looks like a solution from the quadratic formula. Okay, thanks a lot. Have fun. You should have homework by now.